Hello everyone and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a Game of Thrones design inspired by the upcoming first day of winter. I started off by doing a polygel infill and laid down a layer of foundation gel. My index finger unfortunately met the floor the other day, so I just decided to make that tip out of hard gel just because it was quicker for me to do. I'm going to start by using Sally Hansen's Miracle Gel color Greyfitti, and I'll be applying this to my thumb, index, and ring finger. We will be applying 2 coats of this on our tips and underside. In the upcoming new year, I'll be showing how I do hard gel nails. But again, like I said, I just wanted to fix my index finger really quick, so I just ended up using hard gel. Next, I'll be using Sally Hansen's Miracle Gel color Rhythm and Blue, and I'm going to be painting an almond shape on my middle finger. I'm also using Born Pretty powders. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and this is kind of a light blue or sky blue glitter. This nail polish is kind of thick and it lays down pretty well. Unfortunately, when I bought the bottle, the brush was broken, the plastic part on the side, so the little bristles come off every now and then, which is so annoying. So unfortunately, I don't use this nail polish to do a full nail, but for this situation, it's fine with me. I'm just taking my brush to clean it off and make a somewhat perfect little shape here. And will become the eye of our dragon. Next, I'll be just feathering or sprinkling some of this glitter onto this blue circle and dusting off with my brush. Next, I'll be using Sally Hansen's Miracle Gel color Jealous Boyfriend, and we're going to be applying this to my pinky nail and the rest of the nail for my middle finger. Now, mind you, all of these nail polishes so far are no lamp nail polishes, so I did make sure that I let it dry pretty well before moving on to the next portion of this design, so you may want to keep that in mind. And again, we're going to be applying this on the tips and undersides of each nail, well, of my pinky nail and my middle finger. Now for the next part, it gets a little bit more difficult, and because if it's this type of regular nail polish, using a small detail brush to take some time and fill in the spots out is risky because it kind of air dries and gets clumpy. So I'm, as you can see, just being very liberal with my nail polish application. and then I'll clean it up with a brush. So now I'm going in and I'm putting a second coat of the Greyfitti. Cleaning up the sides with my brush. As you can see, my index finger looks no different than the other nails, even though it's made with hard gel. I do feel the product integrity is different. I think there's more flex to hard gel than polygel. But nonetheless, it does the job and makes it the same, and I didn't have to take too long to rebuild it. And my first layers had a day to cure or to dry. So now I'm going to be taking my Shany metallic blue. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And I'm just going to stripe the eyes or the pupil of the dragon's eye. So you can see already what it is going to kind of look like. The colors are kind of sharp at the moment, but once we put the cat's eye over it, it'll wash it out. And if you're the person looking at the nail, you'll be able to see that pretty sky blue glitters just sparkle through the irises, giving it a more magical look. So now I'm going to take Sally Hansen's Miracle Gel color Let's Get Digital. It's a very pretty color. I'm going to be applying this on my thumb, index, and ring finger. I'm trying to go for a winter effect, so I honestly didn't know what I should use, whether it be gray or a sky blue, but I'm really happy that I did pick the gray because with this nail polish over it, it looks so cute. So I'm taking Black Shadow from Gelish. This is a gel nail polish that'll need a lamp. This is going to make our life kind of easier. And then this is a clear coat of Top It Off by Gelish. I forgot to show that I did put a layer of this on my index finger before I started doing this line work on that you see right now. So my line work is I don't do it much, uh, but this definitely was a feat because now I'm spelling things on my nail, and it was kind of crazy. The filming took like 3 hours. I mean, with a 2-day span. So out of that, I've cut it down to a 40-minute video, but the line work, is obviously sped up a bit or a lot a bit because it just took me a while to spell everything and try to make it look perfect. And there's no way. The only way to make it look perfect is if I just, did line work for years. And this is probably, the handful of times that I try to do line work. But I got these new brushes. So I'm using them and it's working out pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Let me know if you want the link to the mermaid brushes. I normally don't show that stuff, but so I just did a cure, and this is the second coating of this black shadow. You can do it if you feel like it's not bold enough. I didn't think it was, and as with other nail polishes, a first coat always looks kind of transparent or sheer, so I'm just putting on this second coat. Cured it again, and now I'm putting a clear coat on top of the whole design. And that's it for the index nail. I mean, it's funny because this design isn't so simple, but it isn't so hard. But I don't know. It was just a lot of work for me, I think. So now I'm putting a clear coat on my ring finger. What I didn't mention is the top coat does have to be um, wiped off, wipe the sticky layer off. So I gave that a cure and wiped it off, and now I'm just marking up the spaces that I'm going to need for my lettering. So this nail is going to say winter, and so there are spaces, even spaces to put each letter down, and that's always good for reference. I mean, this is gel polish on cured gel clear coat, so you could always go in with your brush with some nail cleanser and clean up the extra line work that you won't need, as I'm doing right now. Just cleaning that up. Next letter. And you know, I would like to cure in between letters just so that it's set and I don't mess it up, but because there's those hash marks for the other letters, I don't want that to cure on my nail. So just wait till the whole word is spelled out, and then I'll clean things up and cure it. Having a difficult time speaking today. Just sucks, I think, when you're in quarantine and you don't really have that many conversations with people or interaction with people. I think your thinking of speech just goes out the window. So I found this to be a bit crazy because I don't do line work often. And not only am I doing line work now, I'm attempting to make straight lines and spelling things and making it look similar in size, and all that together is just a little nerve-wracking. But I should probably do more of line work. I gotta think of the designs. I mean, I could do a lot of scroll work. That's usually easy. There's this channel I watch where they do full out like cartoon drawings. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. I mean, I can do it on a piece of paper, but definitely not on a nail with a brush. That's not I'm not at that level yet. So I thought of this design while I was watching the Game of Thrones. So as I'm doing nails, I normally watch something and then do a voiceover. And this was the last series that I saw. And it was a rewatch, and I'm rewatching Prison Break right now. But it was really nice to see the whole thing over again, and then get that, you know, at the end, disappointment of that crappy ending they decided to go with. But the phrase "winter is coming" is just gonna be everywhere forever. So knowing that winter is coming, I thought it would be funny to do a design that says just that. And again, I love that Let's Get Digital. Is that the color? Yeah, Let's Get Digital over that gray, because it does look like how it looked in the movie with that snow blowing around and you couldn't see through it. So I gave that a cure, and now I'm just going back in to do a second coat of all that lettering. And again, this time is sped up because it just took so long. And I'm very impressed that I cut down a 3-hour content down to 40. I mean, I think it would be to your benefit if you saw I had cut it to where it was like an hour and 20 minutes in real time, but I still don't think I would put you through an hour and 20 minutes of what I went through. So I'm just speeding it up, and I wish I could speed it up even more without making it look like some cheesy TV reel. And you wouldn't be able to see what I was doing anyway if it was any faster than this. I don't know what that pause was. I was probably watching something. I mean, interesting in Prison Break, and I didn't want to like miss it. Cure that, and then I'm putting a layer of clear coat and curing that, and giving it a good wipe, and laying down a clear coat on my thumb. Just trying to make sure that layer is thin. I don't want my applications to make my nails look thick. Remove the sticky layer off of that. And then we're just gonna hash up this nail to have the word coming on there. It's just crazy. I just can't. Like, you think of something and then you try doing it and it could go good, it could go bad. But, you know, in this case, I think it went well. But at the same time, it's like, did I really just think that? Did I just think of writing these words on my nails and making this dragon eye? I mean, whatever happened to just plain colors and plain solid colors and calling it a day? But sometimes I amaze myself with these crazy ideas that I have. I mean, because it's a challenge. I think it's fun. I think it's kind of exciting. It is a little crazy and like I said, nerve-wracking, because I don't want to screw it up, because for the most part, like I said in my previous videos, I don't practice this stuff out. I just think about it for the most part, and I don't want to be that fool to like mess it up on camera, especially since it does take time. So if I screw it up and I scratch it, that's a whole, you know, 3 hours of film, but 2 days of work gone. So I'm patting myself on the back for getting this done and having it come out pretty good. So for the lettering, I just Googled winter is coming, and it showed I guess their promo posters. So I just tried to use the font that they were using, and it's simple, but no, it's not when you're not too sure of line work and things are just not looking. This lettering's supposed to be a lot skinnier, but I'm just not that skilled yet. It's really nice to see how quickly these nails are developing on film as opposed to when I was doing it. But at the same time, after I knocked down each nail, I was like, oh, that didn't take too long. It didn't really, actually. I don't know the total amount of time, but uh, I guess it's around 3 hours. So it's not too bad. And if you hear background noise, I don't think you will, but I just can't stand it at this point. Um, the neighbors have one kid, and they seem to multiply around this time. Let me see. Yeah, it's like almost 7 o'clock right now. And I don't think they have any furniture in that apartment because I can hear every stomp. Like my little um, woman cave here with my desk and everything. Um, the other side of the wall is their master bathroom. And I know this because when that apartment was empty, we actually went over there to check it out because we were thinking about getting the 2 bedroom, mostly because they have this huge terrace, and a huge terrace with that much space of an apartment in New York City is it just doesn't exist, but apparently it does in some spots. So I this is how I know the master bath is there. So how am I hearing all this running and stomping and yelling? I mean, I feel bad for the people below them because sometimes the noise, it gets to you, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't have kids yet. So, if they want to have fun, by all means, but I think like as a parent, that's just too much noise. Like, I don't know. But I went out to throw away trash one day and I heard like their door was open. Why? I don't know, but they were blasting music and there were kids jumping and screaming, like to the high heavens screaming. So I'm like, oh, I get it. Okay, so they have their kids running around and they're blasting music so that they don't have to hear them. Got it. Okay, we cure that. And then I'm going in for the second coat. I guess it's tough in the city when you don't have too many places to go to. But from what I know, they have that huge terrace and we have this beautiful, large freaking park. It's a blessing in the city. Like, I grew up in the woods, um, and we had tons of parks. And I would say that this park is fairly large. I mean, not as large as the parks that I grew up around, but they could go there. It's like maybe 5 blocks down, and we're all in quarantine. So, like, I know one parent and maybe the kid are home because it's quiet until this time. It's like this is wind down time. This is dinner time. I don't know. And I don't really it's just the Chinese water torture, I feel. It doesn't bother me, but it does bother me, but I'm more concerned because, my husband works at night, so I'm kind of trying to keep it down. That's why I'm like all the way on the other side of the apartment and I'm not talking too loud. Meanwhile, the screams, they go out into the hallway and the door to our apartment is in between the apartment, so like if I can hear it on my end, for sure he can hear it on his end if he wakes up. So it's just a little crazy. Giving that a cure and putting a clear coat layer on top to seal it in. and then using nail cleanser to swipe off the sticky layer. Now I'm taking Born Pretty's Cat Eye Gel. This color is blue. I'll leave the link in the description box below. And I'm just going to take this and cover up the sky blue circle area. And I want to be somewhat generous with the application because this is an eye and I'm trying to add a thick layer to it. And then I'm going to take the cat's eye magnet and I'm just pushing the metallics towards the center. So I have an Aurora Borealis video where I talk more in depth about my cat's eye magnet and how I use it. But now I'm just going in with the black shadow and I'm just drawing iris lines. So now I'm going to take my Gelish hard gel and to give it more of an eyeball effect, I am just taking a glob of this and I'm going to be applying it over the whole eye area to give it a more bulbous look to it. And although this part is pretty cool because it'll make it look more like an eye, it's just a pain to e-file. And not that an e-file couldn't do it, it's just like I like to just take my e-file from, you know, the bed of my nail to the tip in one swipe and have it go smooth. If there's any bumps, I think in my mermaid video, I show myself e-filing and it was just a pain. Anyway, I cured that. So now I am taking clear top coat and I've got this little thing of water here with some shampoo and I'm just stirring it up to create a ton of bubbles. So I haven't cured the top coat on my pinky nail yet, but I'm just trying to mix this as much as I possibly can to make enough lather or bubbles. And I'm taking my brush and just applying it on my pinky nail, and it's random. So there's not really much you can do to plan that. I mean, I was trying to go for different size bubbles, but it's whatever's underneath that touches that nail is what you're going to get. But now I'm going to cure this. And I'm showing this part, kind of, so you can see me curing it. And I'm just going to wipe off with nail cleanser the suds and the sticky layer. And after this is cleaned up, you can see that it created a reptilian skin texture. And I'm just going to do this for the rest of the Jealous Boyfriend green color. And I thought this part was pretty cool. I've been wanting to try this, and I was like, oh, well, what design would I be able to use to do this technique? And I figured, oh, I want to do a dragon, so, let's use it for that. So you can see how easy this is. I mean, who knew that suds would just take your nail design up like a bunch of notches. Again, I'm going to wipe this. I'm going to try not to hit the nail bed because that's still regular nail polish. And I didn't remove the sticky layer off the eyeball after I put the hard gel on it because I was going to put top coat here, as you can see, to do the skin part, and then after that's cured, I'm going to wipe it off with nail cleanser on that area and the eyeball. Because again, I don't want to touch the nail cleanser on the regular nail polish because it'll smear it and then come off since it's not gel polish. Giving that a cure. And then wiping the sticky layer off and the suds. It's well on its way. It's almost looking like a dragon. I mean, looking back at this, I feel like I should have used like a dark blue. Now I'm taking Born Pretty's like iridescent powder. Again, I'll leave a link in the description box below. But yeah, I feel like I should have used a dark blue because the dragon was green in the show, some color of green, and then when it died and the Night King brought it back to life, you know, it was like a deathly pale color. But you know, it's like, see, things like that, like probably better if I planned it, but oh well. So now I'm just taking a makeup applicator and I'm swiping this on my pinky and my middle finger to create some texture and color to the dragon. Looking back now, I think I was really putting pressure and rubbing this in, but I should have done this lightly just because I'm finicky like that, and I think it would be cool just to have the iridescent powder on the lines of this dragon texture rather than getting it inside the little cells, if that makes any sense, because you can see the larger spots didn't adhere the powder, and I think that looks pretty cool that way, but all the smaller cells seem to have soaked up the powder. I mean, it still looks good this way, but you know, just to get it to that extra mile, I think I should have just done it later. So now I'm just brushing off the excess on each finger before I apply the detailing on the dragon's eye. And I definitely think that this made it pop even more. I thought about maybe using polygel to build out like an eyelid, but I'm like, no. I've already spent enough time on these nails, so. But yeah, I mean, you can see the cat's eye all over that work that we did, and it looks so stunning. So I'm going to take clear top coat and dab it on my sponge, and I'm going to be applying this like the way you would do with an ombre, just because me dabbing this will get the top coat into the crevices. If you just were to brush top coat over the whole thing, you smooth it out and then you lose its texture. This way you get to top coat the little cells and the ridges and still keep the integrity of the dragon skin texture. And this will get messy, but you can always, like you'll see, I'll go in with my brush and clean up my skin around the cuticle area, and then I'm top coating the eyeball anyway, so it'll smooth it all out. Again, I'm going in with my nail cleanser and my brush and just putting some pressure on this to remove the clear top coat that I got on there. And then I'm going in with a dry, lint-free wipe to make sure that I got all that clear top coat off. And like I said, I'm putting a clear top coat over the eyeball. And that cat's eye, I mean, every time I move that finger, you can see like how we push the metals towards the center. It's giving it so much dimension and depth. It's so stunning. And in contrast to the dragon skin texture around it, I can't. It's too much. I am impressed by this nail. I gave that a cure, and now I'm just giving it a good wipe. And then I'll be applying the top coat the same way we did it before onto my pinky nail. And this we obviously can do on the whole nail. Since obviously there's no eyeball there, but being very liberal with the application because we're going to be cleaning it up with a brush and nail cleanser. And this is going to keep the powders on there. If you were to not have this, the powders would wash away at some point. If you just brushed the top coat on the nail, like I said, you'll lose the texture. So I think this is the best thing that you can do to keep your design. Gave that a cure, and now wiping it down. So I'm going to take my Nourish Cuticle Oil by Gelish, and I'm going to be applying this to each nail and rubbing that in. And we're nearing my favorite part, which is the end result, the big reveal. I love this design from the moment of conception to execution and final. Winter is coming. I can't. I just can't. It's just too funny to me too. I don't know why. But you know, the words stand out. You can read it. It's clear. The dragon eye and the dragon skin, that pops out. It's like its own two separate designs that obviously work together for the Game of Thrones theme. This is the close-up, and that cat's eye, look at it. Every time I move that finger, it's just popping out. But anyway, yeah, I really hope you like this design as much as I did. Winter is coming, December 21st. Be ready for it. Some places already are receiving snow, I heard. But I'm prepared, hand-wise. So, and you can see that cat's eye working. Oh, I can't. I love that skin too, and it feels so cool. Like it's one of those fidget things now that I'm going to be doing. Since doing this, I cannot stop like looking at it and reading it and reading it and reading it. I mean, color me crazy, but I just can't. If there's anybody that understands what I'm talking about, leave a comment below. Anyhow, Thank you for watching Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. I really appreciate everyone joining me today, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.